another go-home time for both LaMelo Ball and Trae Young. The season series between these two teams tied 2-2. Josh, what is your play in this game?
I like the Hawks, and I like them a lot in this matchup and in this situation. We've seen how good they can be at home circumstantially for the majority of the season. I think this is one of those situations, again, where we get probably their best effort at home. They have a lot of matchup advantages that I like here, a lot of things that stand out, especially given the way the game is likely to play out. We're talking about an environment where the games are largely being played in half-court sets, and the Hawks' half-court offense is terrific. They have their flaws elsewhere, but they're still a top-5 team when it comes to half-court efficiency against a Hornets defense that is sort of bottom tier in the league in that category as well. And when you look a little bit more specifically at the style of play as well, Hawks top 5 again in pick and roll half court sets, top 5 in efficiency and points per possession off of those pick and roll plays as well. The Hornets again bottom 10 in that situation. You look at when it comes to the 3-point game in particular, which I think is obviously going to be prominent from both teams here. Hawks very good in terms of efficiency, spacing in catch and shoot threes, in sort of running sets for those players on the perimeter. The Hornets defense doesn't do a great job there either. And then the flip side, the Hornets, obviously we know, sort of live and die by that 3-ball, and Atlanta's half-court 3-point defense is actually pretty good. And if that again comes to the fore today, I don't know how the Hornets are going to keep pace in a game where Atlanta should come out aggressive, and if they can put some separation between them in the early goings, I don't like Charlotte playing catch-up in this situation one bit. The other obvious, I think, mismatch and outlier here is the inside presence, something that Clint Capella and even Okongwu off the bench, off of those pick and rolls with Trae Young in particular, should be able to roll to the rim, and I don't think they're going to have a whole lot of resistance there either. We know Charlotte's shortcomings when it comes to having to run at the 5 and generally playing a little bit of small ball lineup with PJ Washington there. So I would look for some Clint Capella props as well in this game. I think that, he has a massive day on the glass. I don't know how the Hornets keep him off the offensive glass in particular. They're not a great defensive rebounding team themselves. So everything for me screams Atlanta here. I think, the move to 5.5, I wouldn't be too deterred by it. I think if they do go out and win, they should win this by margin. Obviously, the volatility is the 3-point shooting and the absolute volume you're going to get from Charlotte there. So, as long as we don't get Charlotte shooting 50% on their 45 plus threes for tonight, I can't see a way that the Hawks don't go out and win this comfortably by double digits.
Do you think I would have learned my lesson yesterday going against you? But we're just going to run it back, and I'm going to go against you again tonight. I'm going to take the Hornets plus the points. And it's interesting to hear you talk about Atlanta's pick and roll offense, because on the defensive end, the Hornets switch everything. They switch everything more than anyone in the entire league. Yep. And Atlanta's 17th against that type of coverage. And Trae Young has really struggled against the Hornets this season. He's averaging just under 20 points per game. And I think a lot of that is because of the Hornets' ability to switch everything. And he's not getting that space or creation on offense to do what he likes to do. So Terry Rozier's done a great job defending him. I think they can keep him at bay at least a little bit. I mean, 20 points per game is pretty good, but it's not if you're Trae Young. And he needs a big game tonight with John Collins being out. I also think the Hornets, if they can get out in transition, I know the Hawks like to play fast, but the Hornets rank first in transition points. And if they can get out and run a little bit, I see that being an advantage for them tonight. And if we think back to last year, Charlotte's been in this position before. They played in the play-in game last year. They got beat by 27 points to the Pacers. So they know what this game is all about. They know exactly what not to do in this game. And so I think they have a really good opportunity to keep this one close. So I will grab the points with Charlotte. Alex, be the tiebreaker here. Who do you side with?
I lean towards the Hawks. They've been playing much better basketball. Being at home is huge for them. I think they've won 11 of their last 12 at home. But the best look to me is the under here. I've been waiting all day. I've been going back and forth because my numbers come out pretty close to this total. But I'm trying to think about what we saw yesterday and what we generally see in the playoffs in terms of teams being more willing to slow down possessions, defenses being more ready to slow down offenses. I mean, we saw both of those totals go under pretty comfortably. I mean, the Cavaliers-Nets total got within 10 points of the total simply because it was a ton of points the last minute of that game as they were kind of going up and down. down. So 235. I look at the regular season matchups again, fairly old matchups. I mean, they played once in March. Everything else was before the All-Star break, but only one of those games got over 225 points. I mean, we're looking at 235 here. So I'm kind of waiting and seeing how this moves around. It's been slowly ticking up over the last couple hours. I might end up like with an alt under 230 or something like that. But Hawks at home, I think, get it done.
All right, Josh. Well, Alex is siding with you. Boys versus girls. We'll see who prevails once this one's over tonight. Josh is taking the Hawks -5.5, and I'm taking the points with the Hornets.